Shout out M Easy and tune in to the sit down.
Doesn't do it easy. That's what I'm doing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the sit down. I'm your guy M Easy. I've got interview extraordinaire Rae Holiday in the building.
What's poppin', sir?
I'm good. Thank you for coming.
I appreciate that.
How's everything with you?
Everything is great. No complaints. No real ones.
Living your best life, huh?
I'm out here.
I would just recently watch the thing you did with Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart. How was that?
That was amazing. It was amazing. I wanted to interview Kevin for a minute, and so I was just waiting for the right time. So when that invite came, I accepted graciously.
Yeah, absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, it was super dope. Super dope.
How did you start doing the interviews for the movie stuff?
You know what? I started a blog 10 years ago called Stuff Fly People Like with my partner Gabe Williams, and we kind of like got in just wanting not to be in corporate anymore. So it was one of those things where we both had corporate jobs and we were like, this is super whack.
Yeah.
This is not what life is about.
Yeah.
Right. But we just didn't know how to get out of it. So one day, one of my homegirls, Tasha, she put me onto a blog. It's called the YBF now, but it was Young, Black, and Fabulous. It was spelled out there.
Yeah.
And I remember like going through and being like, if somebody gets paid to do this? She was like, yeah. And I was like, nah. Like, somebody gets paid to write about people every day. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, so I did some research on Natasha and realized that she was making so much bread at the time that she quit law school to continue the YBF. And I was like, oh, she's making money. So this is something that we need to do. So we started to research it a bit. And then we started it and it kind of like opened up a whole different world that we knew nothing about in the beginning. We was just like stealing pictures and just plagiarizing stuff, like doing things that we thought bloggers would do. But when we actually went back to the drawing board and really figured it out and really started to learn the blogging game, it really changed our lives. So we met a lot of these people early on, but we just didn't have the skills or the reach to identify or to even interview them. And as we started to grow, we became a part of the Interactive One Network about 4 years ago, and that's when things really like blew up for us.
Nice.
Literally.
Well, do you have any tips for anybody that's trying to get into the blogging interviewing sphere?
You got to be consistent, and it's a very patient game. Nothing really happens overnight.
Amen.
It's
brother.
literally something that you just got to put out there, and you just got to continuously do it. People will see your work. I think sometimes people get frustrated when they think that they're doing a good job, and you might not really be doing a good job. It's one of those things where you just got to keep going and keep it consistent. It's a very consistent game. It doesn't really matter who is watching. You just got to know that you're on top of it.
Okay, see, I'm glad that you say that because it seems like in this world now it's all about the views and the likes.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where if your views don't match up, people start to take things down, and they're really cognizant of the views.
Yeah.
And like you said, it doesn't matter who's watching it. Just stay consistent with what you're doing.
It doesn't, like, I see some people with a blue check who only got like 600 followers. So at the end of the day, it's really about what you put out there.
Exactly.
So I think people get real caught up in likes and who gets this and who gets what. But a lot of times people with the millions, they don't get the gigs. They don't. Influencers get all the gigs now.
There you
like
go.
if you can influence people, it depends on who you follow. That's, millions of people can follow you, but like if Diddy follows you, they like, oh, he's somebody important. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it really goes on it's still based on your work at the end of the day.
It's still quality over quantity.
It's always quality.
So what are you working on now? What's the new thing? What's on the cusp that I don't know about that you're about to put everybody on?
I have a new show on Complex. It's called Level Up Your Legacy. It's a real dope.
I like how you did that real nonchalant, like just a little thing on Complex I'm doing.
We're on episode 3 right now. So the concept is that we find extraordinary men who are doing great things, and they've created a video game about their lives, right? So they know going in, but they don't really know going in. So they interview them, and then when they get to the studio, we're actually playing the game, and while I'm interviewing them, they realize that the game is about their life.
Wow.
So, and then after you watch it, you can actually play the game for yourself. So episode 1 is Iman Shumpert, episode 2 is Nick Cannon, and episode 3 that's out now is Direct X.
What games are they in? Like you guys create a video game?
We create a video game. It's 3 levels, and each level is a level of their life.
Oh, shit.
And so they realize it while they're actually playing the game. Like,
that's fucking dope.
It's dope. It's dope.
And where can I find this now?
It's right now. Complex.com.
All right, I'll be
go to
checking
Complex,
that out.
Search Level Up Your Legacy. It's there.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
And you came up with that?
I did. I was just paid. They just tapped me.
Okay, gotcha.
They just once they tapped me, they told me the concept. I was like, y'all really making a game about their lives? I'm like, okay, but when we actually shot the first one, like Iman was literally like, we were playing and at the first level is him and he's on the basketball court and he got Tiana in one hand, he got Junie in the other hand, and he's trying to like
and he doesn't realize
and he's like, yo, that's me. And I'm like, yo, the game is about your life. Like it's brilliant. Wait till you watch it.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's dope. It's
That's
super dope.
crazy. So who was the most shocking interview you've done?
I think everybody, the Kevin Hart people love that one, but I interviewed Jackie Chan at the top of the year. No. Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is somebody that I fought, like, I love Will. And so I was actually nervous when I got that call. I was just like, Will, that's what's up. Like I feel like,
really,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Will was dope. Mel Gibson was dope.
What was Mel Gibson doing that you interviewed him? Which
Mel
movie?
Gibson was in this Christmas movie. Was it The Last Christmas? He did it with Mark Wahlberg. It was a few of them, and so
I was hoping it was after the Passion of Christ.
Nah, the crazy part was a few people were upset that I even interviewed him. They was like, he doesn't respect women. I was like, I never saw that. I mean, sorry guys.
Rae Holiday's in the building. It's a sit down and she got M Easy. How did you come up with the inspiration thing? Because that I find that very inspirational. That's
I was going through a period where it was like such a smooth, not a non-smooth transition for me, because like I always say now that sometimes the people that you start out with won't always be the people that you finish with. Mm-hmm. And I was going through that period where a lot of people around me were kind of like, growth was something that I always thought was a bad thing, because people like, don't change, don't leave the hood, don't do this, this is whack. And then once I got to that point, I was like, well, why am I staying here? And why am I continuing to surround myself with people who don't really get that vision, right? So as I started to grow, I was doing a lot of reading, I was doing a lot of praying, and I was just like, yo, listen, I know there are other people like me. And I know that there's somebody somewhere who needs somebody to be like, nah, you good. Growth is good. Growth is a good thing. If you grow, you meet other people who grow, and then y'all lead the pack.
Exactly.
And so inspiration is just a play on the name, of course, inspiration.
Exactly.
And I was like, I was literally out one night and we were drinking. Thank you, Hennessy. And we were drinking. And it just, literally, I put the word down. I used to always hashtag inspiration. And then somebody was in my comments was like, yo, why you don't throw your name in there? Why don't you put inspiration? I was like, yo, I owe you a check because this is about to be my hashtag forever. And that was like 7 years ago.
I find that amazing. That's dope that you found a way to put your name in the whole inspiration thing. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm very, very excited about that.
Okay, so besides the complex thing, what else is in the works for you? What are you working on?
Speaking of inspiration, I'm starting my first Inspiration Academy. It starts.
Excuse me. I hate when niggas try to do don't do that. That's a major situation. What do you mean?
It's a mentorship program, and I'm taking 20 mentees, and it's a 3-week process, and I'm literally so I do workshops, so I'm literally combining all my workshops into 3 Saturdays, where I'm just gonna run it down. I'm gonna have special guests. We're gonna do like some special networking situations. Like we're really gonna get them in shape. I feel like when I first came in the game and I was asking people for advice, they was like, what happened? Like, so I always promised myself when I did a few things that I'd make sure that I gave back. So I already got 20 students. They're already ready. I had to do it on the low. I didn't want to like put it out there because I felt like I didn't want 300 applicants and I don't know what to do with that, right? I'm like, let me start with 20. Let me finesse it. Let me figure this out. Let me do it. So we start that program on the 6th of October. So I'm really, really, really excited about it.
Rae Holiday's out here just doing great things out here, man.
I'm trying.
From the video games to the mentorship, like this guy out here is doing it for real.
I'm trying. It's
God bless you, brother.
It's good. God is good. So when you get those blessings, you bless back.
Amen.
So that's just it.
Any last things you want to tell the people before we get out of here?
Check for more of those inspiration workshops. They'll be coming up more. My schedule will be kind of crazy, so I'll be trying to flip it in.
How often do you do them?
I try to do them once a month. Especially the art of effective networking. That's my most popular one. Networking is not something that's taught in school, but we're always supposed to know. It's on no curriculum. And people, it's like, get a card and get in there and do it. And I'm like, nah. So I've developed a 30-step program to great networking. And so I do those workshops. And so, yeah. It's some things happening.
Some of y'all might want to sit in that. Yeah, I'm just saying. Some of y'all might want to sit in that.
Oh, wow.
Just saying. No, I'm just saying. I love to see people that inspire people getting the blessings that they put out there. Because you seem like a stand-up gentleman, and you're doing great things out here.
I appreciate that. 100%.
I'll be seeing more of you, son.
I agree.
Thank you for coming by.
No, thanks for having me.
Let them know how to get in contact with you if they want to work or be a mentor or mentee or whatever the case may be. How do you get in contact
follow
with Rae?
me everywhere on Rae Holiday, RaeHolliday. If you want to see me in person, I got a residency every Monday night at Vinyl for Monday Night Football. I know a lot of people are like football, but I'm like, at the end of the day, we still got a lot of people that are still playing. Still put their jobs on the line and kneel every single game. So we got to support them, right? And I'm all for Kate, but I'm just like, at the end of the day, if this is something that you want to do all your life and you finally got it, and it's like everybody not fucking with you, it's like, you know how that is. So Rae Holiday everywhere. I always do. Holla at me. I'll put you on that special list, and I'll send all my emails out and blast, and you get everything.
Absolutely. Rae Holiday came down to sit down with M-Eazy. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, sir.
Shout out M-Eazy and tune in to the sit down.
Doesn't do it easy. That's what I'm doing.